Hey everyone, this is Telly or Freya, whatever you want to call me, and today I'm going to be doing a quick little Warfork complete tutorial, just startup and how to do most of the movement that is pretty important. So first thing, let's just start with the settings. Essentially, the first thing you want to probably do is you want to go to Teams. And then you want to set all these checks here. It'll probably look like this at first. You want to just do this and this. And then you want to set the skin to full bright. This will look different for you. That's because I have a script installed that makes it look like this. And it's completely fine to use. So I'll put it in the description. And it'll be a GitHub link with a bunch of other scripts as well, like shaders, that you can use if you would like to as well. But the most important thing is you want to just set use selected model for all players, full bright screen, force your team is forbidden, and then pick whatever color you want here. This color determines what color your teammates will be all the time. Then icy, same check marks. This determines the color of your enemies all the time. Go wild, make it whatever color you want. Same for enemies, do this. This will make it so that in free-for-all modes, the enemy color will be, selected. And then let's go to input. What you want to do here is you want to go to weapons and you want to set these binds up. You want to hotkey. You will not be able to play this game scroll wheeling through your weapons at all. The most important weapons are rocket launcher, laser gun, and electro bolt. You want to set these as close as possible and have those really memorized. And then the other weapons, you want them accessible, but they're not they don't need to be super accessible. Obviously you want to be able to access them easily, but the priority is that your rocket launcher, laser gun, and electro bolt are the easiest to go to. And so ignore my binds. My binds are horrendous and not worth it at all. So yeah, just don't use these binds. Just come up with your own shit that makes sure that rocket launcher, laser gun, and electro bolt are very accessible. And then audio, when you first open the game, the music is really loud, so just turn that shit down, bro. It's fucking awful. And then we want to go to host game. You want to set the game type to clan arena. No bots, nothing. Public server, doesn't really matter what you do there. And then you want to WFCA1 and you want to start the game. And this will have the wonderful map come up, and you want to pick this map because you'll see that there are a lot of really long hallways, and that's super conducive to learning movement. And there are a little bit of ridges and stuff that will kill your movement, and it's annoying, but it's helpful because it learns you how to be it teaches you how to be controlled with your movement. So yeah. Now let's talk about weapons. So, as I said, your holy trinity of weapons is the rocket launcher, laser gun, and the electro bolt. The rocket launcher excels at close range, the laser gun excels at mid range, and the electro bolt, it's a sniper, dude. It excels at far range. These three weapons together are really, really good, and you want to be using them most of the time. When you start a fight with someone, or not when you start a fight with someone, generally you will just be if you have an engagement in close range, it's probably better to use a mixture of the rocket launcher and the laser gun, right? And if they're kind of mid-range, you want to use the electro bolt and the laser gun. And you'll notice that the cooldowns when you first play for the weapons are really hard to understand, right? It feels random, but the way it works is essentially by the time your weapon reloads, so when you can shoot again, that's when you can switch and shoot with any other weapon. So for example, if I want to switch from rocket launcher to the laser gun, you'll notice it takes the amount of time it takes for me to shoot my rocket launcher again to switch to the laser gun and then shoot with it. And then you'll notice that that's why if you go with the laser gun and the electro bolt, it's much faster. So that's basically how the weapon cooldowns work. And then let's talk about movement now. Let me just go my script. Oh wait, actually, whoops, forgot. We have to talk about the other weapons. The other weapons are basically you can think of them as utility in other games. you want to basically use them to, you know, like in special situations to do like specific things. And so the electrobolt or the machine gun is super helpful if, you know, someone is super far away and very, very low, and you can just pepper them from far away. It's like a long range LG, and it does 10 damage, but it isn't like, it doesn't have higher DPS than the LG. The shotgun is the same. Like if they're super close by and you know they have like 40 health or something, you just shoot them with the shotgun like a couple of times and they'll die. Or if they're really far away and moving really fast and you know they're like 1 HP, just shoot in their general direction, they'll probably die, right? The plasma gun is super good because you can use it to essentially just like spam places where you know people are gonna go, and then you can get like some extra chip damage, right? You don't want to be using this weapon close range, it's like horrendous. And then the grenade launcher is super helpful for, you know, zoning. If there's someone above you, you can just like shoot a couple grenades and they'll be scared and probably not challenge that. And then it's really good if you're like kind of low maybe, and then you're trying to like have someone leave you alone, or if you know someone is there and you want to zone them out. And then yeah, that's pretty much all the weapons that are there. Pretty cool how they're all used. And then let's talk about the movement. So first things first, if you like walk forward and then hold spacebar, you'll notice that your momentum is like kept, and then if you hold W and you move around, you'll notice that you will like slowly be losing speed over time, but generally your movement, like your speed, is like kept. And you'll also notice that you can turn pretty well while holding W as well. And so this is super useful once you start gaining momentum, because this can be used to turn around in the middle of the air when you're going, you know, fast. So let's talk about getting fast. So there are two main ways to gain speed when you're on the ground without any weapons. So the first way is with strafe jumping. And so the way strafe jumping works is you'll notice like I have this little like line above my crosshair, and these Doritos will come up. What you want to do is you want to go into your console, which is the tilde key right above the escape, and you want to do CG_strafe HUD 1. And you want to set your HUD to not like any custom one if you have that, just one of the ADEM classic default, one of those HUDs. And so the way the strafe jumping works is you essentially get W and the any direction key that's not like S, and then you want to go in that or you want to go straight, and then you want to slowly move your mouse in the direction of A or the direction of D. So for example, if you're holding WA, you want to be going forward, hold spacebar, hold A, and then you want to move your mouse slowly in the direction of A. And you'll notice you'll gain lots of speed doing that, right? And that's super helpful. And then what you want to do is you want to switch between the two, like that kind of. And so that will keep you going straight while gaining you speed. And what's also really important is that while you're doing this, you want to use the strafe HUD as a guide initially. This is only there in warm-up. You won't have this in-game. So you want to practice here and get familiar with the way it works. And essentially, there is like a little bit of a dead zone with strafe jumping, where, for example, if I'm going super fast, you'll notice like if I'm doing this, like I won't gain any speed. So there's like a little bit of like a disjoint, like an offset with the strafe jumping. And the way the strafe HUD works is you have these two Doritos, these two like triangles, and you want to go to the longest edge of the triangle, and you want to have the white line be there, and you want to move your mouse slowly and smoothly such that you're not going beyond it. And you want to try to go a little bit beyond so that you're getting like the maximum amount of acceleration possible, like that. And you'll notice like getting a lot of speed here. And then you'll notice that with this strafe jumping, you can't really turn in the air, right? Like if I'll try to do this, I'll lose all my speed. So what you want to do is while you're doing your strafe jumping, you want to switch to holding W, and now, wow, you can move around in the air pretty simply. And this is super helpful because now you're able to get like 900 units per second and move around the map pretty nicely, right? And so if you combine those two things, the strafing and the holding W, you'll be able to like be going around the map at like 800, 900 units per second pretty easily. And then there's another, a little bit slightly more complicated, or actually it's like basically the same as strafe jumping, but you let go of W and you hold A and you do it, and the way you strafe doesn't really matter. You just have to make sure that it's slow and controlled, and you'll notice that you're gaining speed pretty nicely by doing this. And this is like exactly the same as Counter-Strike B-hopping if you've done that. And you'll notice you're going around, move around in the air pretty awesomely, and this helps you gain a lot of speed too, but the strafe jumping is better for gaining speed. So for example, if I need to do a comparison here, I'll get like 500 units per second, but then if I like strafe jump for the same amount of time, I'm already at like 700 in like 3 jumps, right? But the thing that's useful about the bunny hopping or air strafing, which is what I'm doing here, without holding W, is that it lets you turn in the air while gaining speed or maintaining your speed more sharply. So if you know a turn is super sharp with your strafe jumping, you can switch to air strafing instead of holding W, because you'll notice that W has this like weird arc that it like follows, like it's a little bit offset to where you're moving your mouse, and so air strafing is much better because you can sharply do it. And so essentially, if you know like, oh, I need to be making a sharp turn now, do some air strafing. If your turn doesn't really matter and you know you'll make it with the holding W, just do W, and so you'll know when to do which. Or you can just be like me and air strafe always, because it's just like muscle memory from playing like a lot of B-hop, and that's how I play, but it's better to do like holding W. And then let's talk about the special button. So in the game, there's this right click. You'll see in the right, should have probably mentioned this before, on my right you can see the keys that I'm pressing and stuff. If you hold right click, or if you press right click on the ground, you'll notice you dash and get 450 units per second. It's really helpful to start everything you do with the right click so that you get that speed. So like if you're starting strafe jumping, start doing that. If you're starting a B-hop, start with the right click, right? But what's more important is that you can use the dash to change direction very easily, like this, right? You'll notice I'm keeping all my momentum, and I'm turning 180 degrees, like this. Isn't that like beautiful? And so the way that works is essentially there are 2 things that are very important with the right click. First of all, look at my keys. You'll see that if I go down and I'm holding spacebar and I'm holding right click, I won't dash. For the moment I let go of spacebar, I'll dash the moment I land on the ground. You'll also notice that I'm holding right click. That's really important because you can buffer your dash, which is beautiful, which means that you don't need to time it as like the moment you land on the ground. You can just hold it after letting go of jump, right? And so what I want you to practice is I want you to right click, hold spacebar, and then jump twice. Look back, let go of spacebar, hold right click, and then just do this repeatedly. If you look at my key presses, you'll notice that literally I'm holding like no other movement keys. All I'm doing is the moment I let go of spacebar, I start holding right click. And the way I like to tell new players to think about it is you want to essentially like hear the jump grunt and be like, okay, now I'm going to let go of spacebar, and then you want to hold right click, and then you hear the dash grunt, and then you immediately start holding spacebar again. If you don't start holding spacebar again, you'll lose momentum. So you want to make sure that you're holding the spacebar as when you land on the ground. And so you do this, and then the same for the right click. So there you go. And so the dash cooldown lets you dash after 1 jump. And yeah, that's how that works. And I want you to practice this. And then the other thing is the right click, if you're holding no movement keys, will go the direction you're facing, right? So I'm facing like this way, it'll go that direction. But if I'm holding a movement key, for example, it'll go the movement key that I'm holding relative to where I'm looking. And so that's really helpful because you can use that to basically like juke opponents while you're facing them, and move around and shoot them while maintaining like a very high speed. But that will take time to get used to. But yeah, that's really important to know. So that's why I can dash backwards, right? Because I'm tapping S when I land the ground. So yeah, that's how that works. Now we'll talk about wall jumping. Wall jumping is a little finicky. Essentially, if you go to a wall and you wall jump, you'll be reflected off of it like a mirror, like a ball, like bouncing. But if you hold movement keys, your direction will be influenced a little bit. If you want to turn 90 degrees with a wall, essentially you just want to hold W and then right click. And then if you move in the direction, so let me go really fast real quick. So here, for example, literally I'm just moving my mouse. I'm holding W and then I'm just right clicking, and then boom, I'll get a 90-degree turn off of a wall jump. The thing about wall jump that's really cool is that you can hold spacebar and wall jump. So you can effectively select for between wall jumps and dashes. One sec. Just had to drink some water. But the fact that you can wall jump with spacebar means you can select for wall jumps. So for example, if I'm going really, really fast right now, I'm just gonna hold right click so that when I hit the wall, I'll just bounce, right? And that's pretty much what I do a lot of the time while I'm moving through the map, right? I'll be okay, I know that I'm gonna be going in this direction and that the map is like this, so I can just hold right click here and probably be okay. But yeah, that's how wall jumping works. Pretty nice and simple. Now let's talk about the cool stuff, the rocket jumps and the boosting and all of that. Basically, the way that works is also quite simple. Essentially, if you go up to a wall and you shoot behind you on the wall, you'll go really fast. And then what you can do is you can just start holding W, and then boom, you don't even need to strafe jump. You just go to this wall, and then boom, you're able to now go really fast, right? And so that's how the rocket jumps work. Essentially, you want to make sure you're touching the wall, the blast is behind you, and you're in the air, and you shoot, and then boom, you start jumping. And you need to do multiple of these to get a lot of speed, right? It's like this, boom. And then you can start dashing around as well. And then now you're like a speed demon because you're able to move pretty nicely throughout the map. And then if you need to make sharp turns, you can very easily just by making sure to let go of spacebar, holding right click, let go of spacebar, holding right click, let go of spacebar, holding right click, right? And so that's how you move through the map with the rocket jumps. And yeah, one thing that's really important to know is that rocket jumps on the ground in this game are not good because what you're trying to get in this game is a lot of horizontal speed. So using that is better for that. Using walls is better for that. Though, if you do want to jump up to places, using the ground wall jumps or rocket jumps is very, very helpful. So, for example, right here, I can get up there by shooting a rocket at the ground. So that's what thing you want to realize is that essentially you want to be creative with your rockets, right? I'm going here, I want to go up here, I shoot the rocket, right, at the ground. And so that's how the wall rocket jumps work and the ground rocket jumps work. And so you want to just be chaining them like this. I would not recommend right-clicking and doing the rockets because that will make you waste your wall jump. And like you'll notice, like if I wall jump and then rocket, I'll lose like a lot of speed, or not a lot, lose a lot of speed. I'll go really high, but the horizontalness won't be there. The only time I'd recommend doing the right-click rocket jump is when you're like, when you know you're trying to go up. So if I'm trying to go up there, right? Oh, sorry, I'm washed, bro. I can do the right-click rocket jump and I'll get up there. So yeah, that's basically it. The reason why it doesn't work like this is because, you know, when you're on the wall, you're a little bit higher and you get the speed boost from the right click as well on the wall. So you'll be able to get up there much higher. And so that's when you wanted to use wall jumping while rocket jumping. Now let's talk about some more advanced tech. Basically, you can get 900 units per second out of a rocket jump every single time, like that. And so the way that works is you essentially you dash on the ground, shoot, and hold S at the same time, like that. So you want to press S, right click, shoot. And so you want to do those really quickly, and then boom, you can do very high unit per second rocket jumps. If I don't have like a camera on me, I get 900 units per second every time, but it's like hard to do when you think about it. It's like very instinctual for me. But essentially, you just want to S dash shoot all at the same time, pretty much in that order, right? And yeah, this is really helpful for escaping, because like let's say I'm like shooting right here, I'm like, oh, I want to get out of this situation. Boom, I'm at 1,200 units per second and 2 rocket jumps, right? Like you're fighting someone and you're like, oh, I want to get out. Boom, I'm out, right? And this is how you want to basically start like everything, right? If you're wanting to go from point A to point B, just go boom, like wow, I'm really fast, right? And so that's how what I like to call the perfect wall jump or perfect rocket jump works. So yeah, that's how that works. Very important to know. Then there's you're probably never gonna use this, but there's the horizontal ground rocket jump. Basically, if you dash back, shoot, crouch, jump, all at the same time, you'll get like 600 units per second off the ground rocket jumping, and then you can chain that. This is when you're like really fucked and like in the middle here, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna get the fuck out like as quickly as I can, get to a wall. But you won't be using that often. And then let's talk about interacting with the map. And this is my favorite part of Warfork by far. Interactions with the map are like the most important part of like, you know, movement in this game. And you'll notice like I do it a lot. Let's talk about interacting with wall jumps real quick. So what you'll notice is that in a lot of maps, the walls will have like 45-degree sections on them. For example, let's go on this map real quick. Oh, please don't fucking crash my computer, dude. Okay, we're good. Oh, thank God. So you'll notice that a lot of the walls in this map, for example, like this wall right here, is angled 45 degrees, right? That means that since the wall jump reflects you, right, off the wall, it will send you 90 degrees, right, if you go into it straight on. And so you can use these to turn for free. So when I play this map, there are times where I literally just like go really fast. I know that there's going to be people here, so I just like hold right click. And then when I hit the wall, I'll turn, right? And this is how you can turn super easily without much thought going into it. And then obviously there I need to do a wall jump. That's like more precise. But yeah, that's how that works, right? You want to be making sure that you're looking for walls like this that are curved, like they're not curved, that are at 45-degree angles on long hallways, because that's what lets you turn super easily, right? And then I don't know why I did that. I could have just set the map, but yeah, that's the same case in this map too. So for example, if I go to this wall right here and I hold right click, boom, like you'll see that that's 45 degrees there. And then, oh, whoops. This one is also 45 degrees. You have to hit it like, since it's curved, it's a little bit more precise of how you hit it, but you'll notice like, I can just like hold right click. Oh, whoops, that was not what I was intending to show. Yeah, here, I'll just like literally hold right click. Now I'm holding right click. Now I'm holding right click. And you'll notice like I pretty much traverse the entire map at like 1000 units per second, just holding spacebar and right click. And just like doing small adjustments with my movement keys. Very important thing to know. And it helps you improve very fast because now you're able to shoot more people while going really fast, right? Because now you don't really have to move your mouse that much to do strafing or anything. You can just hold right click and like look around for people, like, oh, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Right? That's very, very important to know. Now, let's talk about the ramps in this game. Is that what we want to talk about? No, let's talk about ceiling boosts. So, very cool part of this game. Easily my favorite part of this game, actually. It's the ceiling boosts. And essentially, this game, it kind of like, it fucks up when it rounds, like, when it converts your momentum from horizontal to, or from vertical to horizontal. So if you're like here, for example, and you shoot one rocket, you'll get launched 889 units per second, right? And if you do it perfectly, you'll get 1,100 units per second. Just, you know, sitting under this curve and shooting the rocket. Basically, what's happening is, like, imagine you had like a tennis ball and you rolled it up vertically on this wall. It would go up straight, and then the curve would happen, and that curve would make the momentum transfer from horizontal, or from vertical to horizontal. That's basically what you're doing with yourself, right? And so the way this works is you want to get here, you want to look down, and you want to jump and shoot at the same exact time. And so this is very hard to get, and it takes a lot of time, but these ceiling boosts are really important to learn because, let's say you're like far away from someone, you know? Or let's say you're like right here and you're getting shit on by like 20 people. You do this, boom, you're out of there. Easy peasy. And so you'll notice that this map is very curvy and it has like millions of them. This one right here is one. It only gives you 800 units per second, but pretty good. This one right here is my favorite. It's so easy to do. It gets you so much speed. Literally, like I'm at 0 units per second, boom, I'm at 1,100. And then now I'm at 1,400, right? That's very important. Use those ceilings. For example, my favorite rollout in the game probably is this one right here. If I do this and then do that, oh, whoops, I trolled, my bad. Whoopsie daisies, guys. But yeah, there are a lot of ceilings in the game like this. For example, this one right here. Oh, whoops, I trolled. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a bad teacher. I'm not able to get a lot of these pretty consistently, I'm going to be honest. But if you learn them, you'll be able to go really fast from pretty much anywhere. Right here is pretty good too. Like you're here and then you go, boom, 1,100 units per second. Let's go. And then one really cool rollout I like to show people. If I'm right here, I can just go like up here. I'm at the bridge now. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Now let's talk about some more complicated stuff. Let's talk about ramps. So ramps in this game are super, super useful because that's how you get vertical, bro. That's how you get vertical. Right now, you're on the ground rocket jumping like a pleb, right? But if you use ramps, you can do shit like this, right? You can go around in the middle of the air and shit and do like crazy stuff. And so the thing that's really important about ramps is that when you're on them, like, for example, let's go here. I shoot like a rocket, I will get a lot of vertical momentum off of a ramp, right? And that's very, very good for getting to places that I need to get to, you know? So yeah, that's one thing to know, that essentially ramps in this game are super helpful for gaining vertical momentum, or verticality. If I shoot here, I'll go up. And so when you see ramps on a map, just know that, like, oh, if you shoot down on that, you will go up really high. So if you need to juke someone, you know someone's chasing you, shoot a rocket down at that ramp and you'll be above them, and you can like shoot them or something, right? This map doesn't really have a lot of good uses of that that are like simple to explain, but also, yeah, you can use ramps to like as like ramps to places. So for example, like that ramp can be used to get up there, right? I fucked it up because I'm bad, but this ramp right here, super useful to getting up here, right? And then these ramps right here are, and these little ones are super, super helpful as well. So there's this tech that you can do where if you run into a ramp and you're starting to slide up it, if you wall jump at like the transition from the wall to the ramp to the wall, you'll notice that you go kind of high. So like, let's say I have some speed. If I do the wall jump at the right here, I'll go really high. And this lets me, you know, get some vertical momentum without having to rocket jump. Now let's say I have like a lot of speed, right? Oh, sorry, I'm trolling. If I don't wall jump, I'll just go up, right? But if I do wall jump, I can redirect that vertical momentum and use that to go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm trolling. I can redirect that momentum and go like certain places. So for example, like right here. Oh my god, I'm trolling. Holy shit, I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm trolling. Oh god, I'm trolling. Okay, it's like hard to get. I get this a lot, okay? I promise you. But it's just, I have like performance anxiety, dude. I don't know what this is. Holy shit. Oh my god, I need to. Oh my god, I need to be shot and killed. There we go. I think I'll get it now. Yeah, there we go. Basically, like I went at the ramp in this angle, and then I literally, like, no movement keys, just press right click, and what happens is, since the wall jump reflects your momentum is going this way, like this, and then you right click on the wall while you're going up this, and then you go that way, right? And so that's really important to know, because this lets you do a lot of crazy shit. For example, if you combine this with rockets, you can like go wherever. Like you can just go up here, or you can go up here from there instead of having to use those ramps, right? And you can go up here, right? Pretty simply. So if you use these ramps and you go up them and shoot rockets, whoa, or wall jump, or do both, depending on how much height you need, you'll be able to go pretty far and high, right? Like I'm able to get on the beam like this. So that's how the ramps work. Just gonna see if I'm missing anything. I don't think I'm really missing anything. That's pretty much everything you need to know. This, like, I know is pretty like unorganized, but like there needs to be like better videos for movement, and like this is what I'll have out for the time being, I guess. I'm pretty embarrassed of it, but it should work for most people, right? Yeah, that's my movement tutorial. Pretty simple. The game is very, you know, not forgiving, but if you stick with it, you'll learn a lot, and you'll start having like lots of fun. So yeah, that's Warfork for you. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know on Discord. My username is T3LLY. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.